You're watching Moments with Jill Walker. Today I'm talking about the subject called Emotions, Part 2. Yesterday I talked about emotions and how sometimes you meet someone and they're so happy, the next time you meet them, they're acting kind of moody, like something's on their mind. Are we really supposed to wear our feelings on our shirt sleeve, you could say? Of course, that's figuratively speaking. But some people really do. You can just tell by being around them. And it kind of dampens the atmosphere. Don't you like to be around someone that's consistently the same? People that go up and down and in and out in their emotions reminds me of a roller coaster. I seriously thought about going to the park today, but it was just too cold. Because in my mind, I pictured a teeter-totter. You know, the little kids get on. It takes two to do it. I thought about just using that as a visual lesson. So if you can picture a teeter-totter, that's the way some people are. They have lows, they have highs, just like the roller coaster, just like that. And even on a swing, when people are swinging, they can swing high, but their emotions can come back down again. Now, I'm not talking about people that have some medical imbalance in their system, in their chemistry. I'm sorry for that, and they need medical help. I'm just talking about people that are not in that category. And even if you are, there's medicine to help control it. I'm talking about how to lasso those emotions and keep them under control to bring honor and glory to God. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 1 through 3 goes like this. I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation on wherewith ye are called, with all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. When people's emotions are out of control, sometimes there is a lack of peace, especially with the person that's reacting out of control. That beautiful fruit of the Spirit called self-control is one sometimes that's overlooked. But if you're around someone just even a few minutes, especially 2 or 3 times over a period of time, you'll recognize that one that is practicing self-control over their emotions. Romans 7:19 goes like this. For the good that I would, I do not. But the evil which I would not, that I do. Why? The Apostle Paul wrote that in Romans to let people know, even though he was born again and now had become a follower of Jesus, he still had his moments of temptation. He still had his moments when he had to recognize his emotions and try to let God do a work in his heart so he would not let his emotions get out of control. He wanted to do good, but sometimes he failed. Isn't that the way we are too at times? No one's perfect, nor ever will be till they get to heaven. But we can truly remember that verse in Philippians 4, verse 13. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. You first have to recognize you need help in your emotions. You need to ask God to help you. I said a prayer yesterday, and I hope you prayed along with me. But you can say a prayer, if you didn't see yesterday's devotion, you can say a prayer after today's and ask God to help you become more stable in your emotions and not be so up and down all the time. Don't let the circumstances rule your life. You let God rule your emotions over the circumstances. You can do it through Christ that gives you the strength. It goes on to say in Romans 7, verse 23, I see another law in my members warring against the law of my mind. But guess what? We can become winners. We can conquer the emotions that seem to be contrary to what we really want. Those emotions that would get out of control. When you sense it coming up, just stop and say, wait a minute. Just receive that peace of God. When you feel those emotions coming up, if you feel like venting, vent to God. Say, God, I feel this coming out of control. I give this to you. Just talk to him in prayer. Talk to him like you would talk to your best friend. But he's God. He can help you more than any best friend in this whole wide world. That's right. It says in Ephesians chapter 4, verses 26 and 27, be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. I am so glad that verse is there. I've quoted that verse so many times. I really have. Because God has given us emotions, even the emotion of anger. Yes, he has. But we can keep it under control. Our emotions can still be pleasing to him, even when we feel upset, even when we feel angry, even when we feel sad. I cannot count the times when I've walked on a stage publicly or before a camera or anything else God has called me to do publicly. And even prior, before I've walked out on that stage, I've heard some news that could be upsetting or disappointing. It could even bring me to tears. I have felt pain in my body at times over all these years. Since 1981, I've been in ministry. So I've experienced emotions myself. But I'll tell you the secret. You wear a smile. It's not being phony, because I'm not phony. But you decide God is greater than the news you just heard. God is greater. You see, if you magnify God, the problems won't seem as big. But if you magnify the problems, God won't seem as big in your life. But God is greater. Always remember that. And God can give that breakthrough you need. It just takes a mustard seed of faith. And please just keep that joy in your heart. Don't let your emotions get out of control. He's given you emotions to cry, to laugh. He's given you those emotions. But he expects us to follow him and let him keep those emotions under control by us just giving him our cares and concern, our sadness, and all these other emotions that we feel. I know you can do it if you love Jesus and give him everything. He will help you through this earthly life. It's going to start getting darker out there. I don't mean the time of day, but I mean what's going on in this world. We have to get our emotions under control so we can be strong and help other people that need to hear what God has done in our lives. Won't you do that? Will you be an ambassador for him? Will you be one of those people he can count on that will be dependable and faithful, that will be able to keep your emotions under control no matter what you have to face in this earthly life? You've been watching Moments with Jill Walker. God bless you today.